Nerf.
Welcome back to the Armory. I'm Zane Truesdale 1987 here again with another Nerf gun. As you can see at the top, it's called the Havock Fire, whereas I prefer to call it Natasha or the Vulcan. And here we have it, a custom paint job, and one I am particularly proud of. I went for a whole Iron Man thing with a nice red and gold, although the red's a bit too bright. The paint is supposed to be on an Audi RS4, it's actually on this gun. What I like about this gun, it's fully automatic. I like the fact that it's a turret gun with its own little tripod. It is fantastic. I do also like the fact that you don't even need to use that. You can use it like what am I talking about? Wrong film. Sylvester Stallone does in the Rambo movies. I think it's Rambo. And if you don't even want to use full auto mode, you do have a single shot mode. But that's less impressive. So that's roughly the size of the gun. It takes 6 D-sized batteries, which is incredibly immense. And the batteries go in, if I can remember the section, somewhere on the bottom. I think they go in down here at the bottom of the section of the gun, around about here somewhere. I can't remember. It's been ages since I put them in. Anyway, it has quite a few safety features to make sure that you can't accidentally fire it. It's got a big switch here, and it's also got a little switch in here. So without those two switches compressed, you can't fire the gun. And obviously that is where the chain comes in. You can buy 50 round chains. I've got 25, but it's not full at the moment. So I'm going to fire these shots off for you in a moment. These last two here with the yellow J's, I think I've mentioned it on one of my earlier videos, but the Jolt, they're modded rounds. I took a hot glue gun and filled the Whistler darts with hot glue, and when it's dried it is nice and solid. Let's see. Yeah, here's the that's alright. And trust me, they hurt. I got one of those in the eye yesterday, or was it the day before? It was the day before yesterday. Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, let's load this baby. Alright. Not going to bother holding the handle, so oh well. Yeah, try not to get myself in the face there. There's a lot of reflections. I think you probably had the last two shots as the modded rounds hit the screen. I know I did. I'm waiting to hear that on the microphone. I bet that sounds pretty funny. There we go. So yeah, that is the extent of its power. You can do mods on this, but generally they're only battery mods which you can do to increase the rate of fire. So if you take out the battery packs, if you use some rechargeable batteries from remote control cars, link them up in series with alligator clips and a little bit of soldering involved, you can probably increase the rate of fire depending on how many batteries you put in. If you put in two 9.6 volt batteries, you should be able to fire this thing off all rounds in about 3 to 5 seconds. That's all 25. We'll say, if you do upgrades on the voltage on this thing, you're going to either want to let the motor cool down after every 25 chain, or replace the motor with a better one, because the motors obviously weren't made for that amount of fire rate. So yeah, if you're doing the battery mods, just be careful of the motor, be careful not to burn it out, or you've got to buy yourself a new motor or entirely a new gun. So watch out for that. Other than that, it is fantastic to use it in warfare, I reckon. We haven't used it yet. We've generally kind of used it in the back garden, sitting on top of the sheds, firing down on infidels. But our friend Ben is incredibly excited to use this. He is more of an assault type with these kind of guns than rather sitting there hiding and waiting for someone to come out. So we all have different things. It is proper warfare, and this is fantastic. The best 50 quid I ever spent. Although we are all chipping in 10 quid for it, so I've yet to get the 40 quid off the other guys, which we're talking about later. But money well spent, definitely. You can't go wrong buying one of these. It's just the sheer size and the power that you can get from this thing that really gives you a bit of a Nerf energy. I love this gun. Any extra features, apart from the single shot moment, you've got yourself a little flip up rail sight here. That's a little stiff because I painted that as well. So that, you've got 3 rail systems on there, so you can add like a flashlight, laser sight, whatever Nerf things that they have available. Apart from the handle, really, not really. I do like how they've done the switch though. The switch is kind of cool. That is kind of cool how they've done that. But other than that, this is sort of like one of the guns. I will say it's bloody heavy. So probably most heavy about here. It's more heavy there, but holding it for too long, your arms can ache because this is a heavy beast. But fantastic gun. I'm really happy with this one. It's hard trying to do reviews on things like this because I try and make it up as I go along, but it's all just... it's Nerf. I get carried away. Anyway, that is the Vulcan, the Havoc Fire, or as we call her, Natasha. Happy nerfing. If you are looking on getting this gun, I do say it'll be well worth your money. Believe me, it's amazing. And this is Zane Truesdale 1987 signing off from the Armory.